Hi, I'm Neil, and in this video I'm going to share 4 different ways of working with anxiety. We're going to go straight into it, and I'll explain how these different approaches and techniques work as we go along. So the first thing that we're going to do is something called soothing touch, and it's really simple. All you do is you take the palm of your hand and just begin to slowly and gently rub the palm of your hand up and down your opposite arm. If you're in a public place and you don't feel comfortable doing this, then you can always just rub the palm of your opposite hand with your fingers, or even just use your little finger, sort of rub your thumb against the tip of your other little finger. And you can do that under any desk. See, I'm carrying on doing this now even though you can't see it, so yeah, but anyway, I'm going to do this for the video. I'm going to do the full arm version, and this is the one that I use every day. And the way that this works is it activates the human caregiving system. So if you think of a child who's fallen over and grazed their knee, and then their mum comes, picks them up, gives them a big hug, and actually for both of them this soothes the distress, the pain and the anxiety. And the way that this works is it releases a chemical called oxytocin, which is also known as the hug hormone. And oxytocin is a hormone that it makes us feel safe, it calms the nervous system, and it soothes pain, emotional pain, and anxiety. It takes a few minutes to kick in, and the more you do it, the more frequently you do it, the more effective it will be. And already for me, I'm filming this, there's a little bit of nervous system activation. I can already feel that this is beginning to just calm me down and soothe me, just to make me feel a bit more relaxed into doing the video. There is a second benefit to doing this, which is where we have a repetitive movement that is slow, and any cyclical movement that we do with the body that we do when we slow it down beyond a certain rhythm actually acts as a pacemaker for our brainstem, the sort of primal parts of our brain. And this also helps to slow down our heart rate, slows down our respiration rate, and this helps to calm the nervous system. So you get a two for one. And then the second technique that we're going to bring in, and we're going to do all these together to get a stronger effect, is we're going to bring in some bilateral movement. So this is where we're slowly moving from one side to the other. So whether you're standing or sitting in a chair, it doesn't work so well if you're lying down, but if you're standing or sitting, then you can just begin to sway. And again, keep the rhythm slow, keep the rhythm of the swaying and the arm rubbing slow. And again, this slow rocking motion, as long as it doesn't make you feel nauseous, if it does or you don't like it, then don't do it, just skip it out. But often people find this rocking quite soothing. And we don't quite know how this works, but there's something about shifting from one side of the body to the other, this bilateral movement, that acts to interrupt the nervous system. And it just, however it works for me. And if it works for you, I say if things work, then do them. If they don't work, then don't do them. And then the third technique that we're going to bring in, again, it's really simple. What we're going to do is we're going to count down backwards from 100, You don't need to count down all the way to 1. It's more just the act of counting, and we're going to do this slowly. And really this is all about just giving your mind something else to do. So rather than spinning out or getting stuck in some sort of anxious thought loop, it's just giving our mind something else to do. So I'll count with you for a short while, but you're going to be counting inwardly. You don't have to say this out loud. In fact, it's better to have your mouth closed for all of this. It's also calming for the nervous system. So 99, 98, 97. So as you're saying the numbers to yourself, keep them really, saying it really slowly, as if in slow motion. 95, 94, and so on. And then finally, what you might notice is there still might be some or a lot of anxiety there in the background. And so often what we tend to do when there's something unpleasant, if we feel anxious, for example, is we might tend to brace against that anxiety or try and block it out or push it away. And so the invitation is, if you feel comfortable with it, is actually just to allow the anxiety to be there in the background. So you don't have to dive into it, you don't have to love it, but just to tolerate it, and maybe just allow the body to just soften and relax rather than bracing and pushing it away. I'm aware that there is a lot of background noise going on. I don't know how this is going to sound on the video, but we'll carry on anyway. And some things just happen in life, and we just have to work with it. And so that's what we're doing now. We're doing the soothing touch, gently rocking from side to side, counting down backwards if you find that helpful. Yeah, and just allowing any residual anxiety to be there, especially maybe noticing how it feels in the body. Because ultimately, we're not actually trying to get rid of anxiety. Anxiety often is an emotion, it's a messenger that's coming from the mind and body that's trying to tell us something. And so the more we can just let that anxiety be there, the more it can flow through us, give us its message, and then we can sometimes then the anxiety passes, sometimes it stays around, but often just having that, knowing what that message is, means that we can make some choices in our life that maybe need to be made, and this can make us happier, can reduce our suffering. So thank you very much for watching and practicing along with me today, and I wish you well.